Hi guys, my name's Allison. If you're new here, my name's Allison. I like to turn regular recipes into vegan recipes. Cookies are my all-time favorite thing ever. Like, I could eat cookies constantly. And I have this one recipe. I have used it for years and it's the best recipe. I have all the cookies I've ever tried. It's by the blog Pinch of Yum, and it's just a standard chocolate chip cookie recipe. That's what I'm going to be making today, and I'm actually going to turn it vegan. And I'm not going to lie, I made these ahead of time. I made one batch already. I'm going to be making another one, and the first batch came out so good. It's like, seriously, it's probably the best vegan cookie I've had, even just like regular cookie I've had, because it makes me feel better knowing that there's no harm going into the making of that cookie. Also, it tastes really good, and it's made with good quality chocolate chips, and yeah. So let's get started. For today's recipe, we're going to be using all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, brown sugar, baking soda, vanilla extract, sea salt, and for the vegan substitutes, we're going to be using Earth Balance, a flax egg, and these Simply Delicious chocolate chips. So I already preheated the oven to 350 degrees, and then the next thing you're supposed to do is melt the butter for about 40 seconds until it's mostly melted with still a little bit of pieces in there. So I'm actually not going to pour that in first. I'm going to put the sugar in first to avoid some issues, but we're going to be using a half a cup of white sugar and a quarter cup of brown sugar. The recipe says, and I've tried before, you can use raw cane sugar in place of the white granulated sugar, or you can do like half or a quarter cup of granulated, a quarter cup of raw, and then a quarter cup of brown. It really depends on what you like, but with the coarse raw sugars, it tends to make it more cakey and like thicker cookies, so it's all up to preference. So now I'm going to add in the butter. And now we're going to cream this together until it gets nice and creamy. Alright, so from here we're going to add in the one flax egg. And then I'm also going to add in a splash of vanilla. And then we're going to mix this for a couple seconds till combined. Alright, that's good. And then now we're going to be adding in a cup and a half of flour. And then a fourth a teaspoon of salt, but I'm using Celtic sea salt, so I'm going to use a little bit more than that. Okay, so now I'm going to mix this until combined. The recipe says that it's supposed to be crummy texture. It's supposed to be like dry and crummy. But when I just made this recipe for my last batch, it was a little bit on the runnier, like oily side, which I think made it actually come out better. So we'll see where this ends up. I'm going to scrape the bottom so that we avoid any random over buttered cookies and then ones that are too dry. We want everything to be nice and uniform. Okay, so this is actually exactly how it looked in the last batch that I made, so I think we're on the right track. And then lastly, we're going to be adding in 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips. Help with it. I'm adding in the whole bag. There's not that much left. This is about exactly how many we need anyway. And we're good. So now we're gonna put them on the baking sheets and throw them in the oven. So now these guys are all ready to go. I'm gonna throw them in the oven at 350 for about 9 to 11 minutes. I'm gonna go to 10, but I'm also only gonna put them in for 5 minutes and then switch and flip them, and yeah, so we're gonna do that. So it's been, well, first it was about 9 to 11 minutes, and then I let them cool for a while, and then now they're completely cooled. These look really good. They're just as good as normal regular chocolate chip cookies. Here's what this one looks like. Some chocolate on my finger. This is what they look like. I'm so excited to try these. I mean, I know what they taste like, but for the sake of the camera, you know. Oh, these look so good inside. Look at that. If anyone ever tries to tell you that things aren't as good because they're vegan, or they can't be good because they're vegan, or whatever stupid excuse they try to give you, give them these cookies and shut them the fuck up, because they obviously don't know what they're talking about. These are the best cookies I've ever had. Definitely try this recipe whether you're vegan or you're not vegan. If you're not, follow the recipe as is. If you are, kind of do it my way because it's really good, but I definitely did it this week. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but kind of knew I was going to. I've done these cookies. I literally can memorize. I've memorized this recipe already, but for a good reason, because this is the best cookies ever. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe, like this video to see more things like this. If there's anything you'd like to see me make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. I doubt I have enough people watching to tell me what to make yet, but you know, it's never hard, it's never too early or whatever to ask, I guess. But yeah, thank you again for being a part of all of this. Tune in next week to see if I can do it again.